My concern, and to that extent, I'm proposing a decision for the plenary, is how we can contribute to the reform of the global financial architecture. We're all in agreement that the way the global financial architecture works at the moment, it doesn't work in our favor, and that there is a need to make some fundamental systemic reforms. But making the reforms also requires that we also take some steps that will assist us to have a greater impact in the way in which our economies are financed. And an important consideration that I want all of us to think about is that, as it stands, virtually all our countries, we hold our reserves in foreign banks, attracting largely negative rates of interest. So we should take a decision that a minimum of 30% of the reserves of each one of us, sovereign reserves, should in fact be invested in the African multilateral institutions. I speak about the ADB, I speak of Afreximbank, which will strengthen their balance sheets and strengthen their capacity also to facilitate more and more resources for our development. If we find a way where we can increase the financial power of our own institutions, we're in a better place to finance our development. Already we've seen the tremendous work that the ADB and the Afreximbank. So these institutions are institutions which are ours and which we can trust. So if we can find a way of strengthening them, we strengthen ourselves. And that is the proposal that I want to put before the plenary. But I want to share those proposals with you first. That we make a decision that 30% of our sovereign reserves that we're now holding in foreign banks, we will in fact invest them in our own financial institutions, the ADB and the Afrexim Bank. We spend a lot of our time going from one country to another, having these summits. We have summits with China, we have summits with India, we have summits with Japan, we have summits with America. We've now had a summit with Turkey. I gather there are other countries that are getting ready. We recently had a summit with Italy, and there are other countries that are also going to have this summit. There's an anomalous situation whereby a particular country has a summit with a whole continent, and all of us troop to these summits because we don't want to endanger our relations with them. If we could find an institutional arrangement for ourselves whereby at least once a year we can meet to talk about the strategic matters that affect our continent, the strategic economic matters that affect our continent, I think it would obviate the need for these peregrinations, the moving around from one country to another, which we're doing. And that is the idea of having every year an annual economic summit. And that itself can be a movable seat. I can see very easily President Ruto hosting the first one. The Zambian president will follow. Ghana will follow after that. But we will do it on a yearly basis, and that therefore becomes the fulcrum around which we on the continent then will deal with the major issues that we have to confront as a continent as far as our economic growth and development are concerned. The statement that is made, God helps those who help themselves, is a statement that I find extremely important and one that is extremely dear to me. God helps those who help themselves.